So if you live in Japan, you probably know that Japanese TVs have many strange, weird cultures, and one of them is about the quiz show. I was in the UK for some years, and I was really fond of watching University Challenge. And University Challenge is a quiz show where university college students compete with each other. And you know, in that process, of course, the regulation is that everybody is on equal footing because otherwise it will be fun. So every college and universities, they are treated as equal entities. So, for example, Oxford and Cambridge might have good reputations, but sometimes they are beaten by other colleges, which is only fair, right? And I am aware that university chains have been criticized for the fact that there are less female contestants compared to male contestants, and that probably could be based on gender bias and cultural differences, but between the genders. But I think that's being rectified. But apart from that, I think the University Challenge it is based on this culture of equal treatment of all contestants. Now, if you come to Japanese TV, everything is different. There this trend of treating University of Tokyo students as special champions of the quiz show, which for me is really weird because after all, if you treat a quiz show as a mind sport, then you really need to apply equal rules to every contestant. But many Japanese TV quiz shows, they start from the premise that University of Tokyo students have some special ability to do well in a quiz show, which might be true statistically speaking, but you shouldn't really start from that premise and brand the TV show as something that is between standoff between University of Tokyo students and other contestants, because that's not fair. It's really weird for me, and I'm a University of Tokyo graduate myself, and I should say that I do know that there are many students who have pedantic knowledge about many things, and but that is not something that would guarantee that you would be a creative person, because the more you know, the less probably you have creative freedom. That there's a certain trade-off between knowledge and creative freedom. That is certainly true. That's probably one of the reasons why Pablo Picasso had to fight against the status quo all his life to innovate his ways of painting. So people know this intuitively that more knowledge doesn't translate into more freedom or creativity. But so the premises of these Japanese TV quiz shows that the University of Tokyo students are clever. They have talents because they know so many things. Is you know to putting it mildly, really suspect because it's not true. I mean, it's so this is one of the instances where the Japanese TV apply this culture of juvenile ignorance in the making of its programs. I mean, the Japanese TV treat the audience as if they are immature viewers, which might be true to some sense, but you shouldn't really keep that culture of assumed immaturity for a long time because it's not sustainable at this time and age. So I know the Japanese TV are, you know, suspect in on many aspects, and gender inequality is probably one of them, where you see many in many programs you see male figures explaining something to a female, quite often younger person, and that is, TV sponsored mansplaining session, and you see it almost every day on Japanese TV. So, but the Japanese TV and Japanese society at large are conveniently, oblivious you know, of the argument that are going on in the world today. But this series of TV shows based on the premise that University of Tokyo students, Todai students, do well in these quiz shows. It's really, really morally suspect. I mean, because it's discrimination, it's presumption, it's prejudice, it's everything that a contemporary TV show shouldn't be. So yesterday I made some noise and I was, as usual, attacked from many people, and probably I might have been, not diplomatic about my actual phrasing, but I do believe that this premise of, treating University of Tokyo students as quiz masters cannot be sustained because it's not resonant with the spirit of this age.